Your console is dominating right now. How do I know? Well, if you own any of these, you've already won. Forget the negativity of the interwebs, my console is better than your console, and look at the positives. All three major platforms are undeniably the most competitive they have ever been. What's up guys, in this video we're going to be going over why your console is the best console this generation. The Nintendo Switch is breaking records right now, even going as far as outselling the Wii U's lifetime sales in its first year. If you look at most top 10 sales for any website, there's a good chance it's being dominated by the Switch right now. And for good reason too. Nintendo has some of the most robust and highly rated IPs in the whole gaming industry. So good in fact, they've managed to carry previous consoles with next to none third-party support. Thankfully, the Switch is far from these issues, having solid titles from third parties such as Hades, Astral Chain, Witcher 3, Monster Hunter Rises, and the list just keeps going. It's not even that they're hoping that reliable IPs such as Zelda and Mario sell enough by their name alone. And I know not everyone's going to agree with this, but a good fraction of the player base, including myself, believe that these are some of the best titles in their respective series. Just to name a few, we have Zelda, Breath of the Wild, Odyssey, Smash Bros, and let's throw in a huge handheld title making the jump like the Pokemon series. It's really hard to bet against the Switch right now, especially when Nintendo's on top form. You could say they've played the top trump cards already, but I don't believe this is the case. We still have games like Metroid Prime 4, Bayonetta, and so many more to come. And you never know, they might just throw in a few surprises too. Personally, I'd love them to bring back F-Zero. It's been far too long. Nintendo, make it happen. Usually when Nintendo launches a system, it comes with a massive gimmick. For the better or worse. In my opinion, it's for the worse. I feel like it can get in the way of a great game or limits the console to play in a certain way. Not only am I on board with this new gimmick, I can't get enough of it. I love the fact that I can undock the system and play anywhere in my own comfort. I'll even go as far as to say some games are better played in handheld mode. The developers seem to agree as well. Not remaking games for the Switch, but simply porting a title like Doom is getting insane results, with Super Meat Boy almost reaching the same sales it did back when it originally launched a few years ago. If you have the Nintendo Switch right now, honestly, you have the best console this generation. So let's move on to the Microsoft side of things. There's been a fair few changes since that infamous car crash of a launch with the Xbox One.
Fortunately, we have a product for people who aren't able to get some form of connectivity. It's called Xbox 360.
Right. So stick with 360, that's your message?
With only a handful of worthy exclusives over the span of 7 years, the Xbox One was considered to be an inferior console to the PlayStation 4. So, what's changed? Well, mostly it's the marketing through Game Pass. It's a concept that some gamers still can't get their heads around today. Microsoft's goal isn't to sell you a AAA title or even sell the most consoles. It's to get you to subscribe to Game Pass by any means, whether that's on console, PC, hell, even on mobile devices. Game Pass is easily the best value in gaming by a fair margin. It's £11 or $15 a month to access over 100 great titles from the past and present. You want to play any Kingdom Hearts games ever made? You've got it. All 7 Yakuza games? You've got it. Bethesda games, Gears of War, Halo? Look, I'm sure you can understand what I'm getting at, but it doesn't end there. It allows you to branch out and play games you never would have paid for. It's really coming into its own as the Netflix of gaming. If that's not enough, over the last few months it's gotten even more interesting. We all know first party studio games launched day one on Game Pass, but recently we've seen a lot of third party titles make that jump. Cyber Shadow and Outriders are the latest titles to join the trend. Let's take a step back and look at the maths. If you only downloaded these two titles within a year, you've already made your money back, given the fact that the online service, which is gold in this case, is included in Game Pass. But what if I told you could get it even cheaper though? If you're happy to pay up front, you can buy 12 months of EA Play for £20 or $30 that Microsoft converts to 4 months of Game Pass, meaning you can get a full year's of Game Pass for £60. That's the same price as a new release title, or even cheaper in some cases. If you have an Xbox, honestly, you have the best console this generation. Last but not least, we have the PlayStation 5. I'm not ashamed to say that the PlayStation 4 was the best console in the last 4 years for me. The constant strong lineup of games and exclusives have been paying the way for Sony. With the PlayStation 5, it looks like nothing's going to change. Every year they bring out a few exclusives that's not only great, but Game of the Year worthy contenders. Even if you take a look at this year alone, it's a solid lineup. First up, we have Returnal, a brand new IP that could easily steal the show. If you ask me, this is definitely a game I think you need to keep an eye on. Surprise surprise, Ratchet & Clank looks incredible. Taking full advantage of that new SSD, traversing between worlds has never looked this good. And we haven't even gone into Horizon 2 and God of War that I can talk about all day, but for the sake of the video, let's move on to the new and improved PS Plus. Just looking back a few months, you'll see a big jump in terms of day one exclusives like Destruction All Stars and Bugsnax. Now I'll be the first to admit I wasn't a big fan of Destruction All Stars, but Bugsnax was a pleasant surprise. Speaking of which, feel free to check out Colin's excellent review of Bugsnax at the end of the video. Something I do think is underrated is their PS Plus collection that you can find on the PlayStation 5. It's a healthy amount of games you can play just by having the subscription itself. Games that you might not have gotten around to playing like Days Gone or Persona 5. Not the strongest subscription service in the gaming market, but considering Sony's quality of exclusives, it's a great package bundled together. If you ask me what's my biggest takeaway from the PS5, it has to be the pad. This is easily the best pad I've ever played with. It's one of them things you really need to try out to see why it's so good in the first place. The rumble is so good it helps indicate where the sound is coming from, and the feedback on the triggers give every weapon a different weight to them. The pad is something that no other console is currently doing right now, and they're missing out. If you have the PlayStation 5, honestly, you have the best console this generation. And there we have it guys, a clear winner of the console wars. Do you agree? Let us know in the comments below. I've been Nathan, and as always, I'll see you in the next video. GG guys.